Nothing in your life or our world is happening accidentally. It's just that too many of us have forgotten who we are and have not been willing to own who we are, which is a natural progression as we each evolve, individually and also collectively. Yesterday, I did a video saying abundance is ahead because I knew that would be for today and it might be for you as well because we're moving through a generational shift in our world where if more of us were to embody who we were meant to become, we would have abundance in all forms. And I put that out as well. And then I also sat and said, did I download the order of the universe? And yeah, I did. So that's why I know nothing's happening accidentally. But I wasn't owning that, which was holding back my abundance and holding back what I might be able to give you and what we could all accomplish in our world now. We just went into a war, but see, I knew that as well because I was given that information that if we had changed, if we had decided to love ourselves a whole lot more, maybe we wouldn't have done that. Maybe we wouldn't have given power to those other people who were continually creating wars because that's all that goes on. We move through generational shifts in our lives and also in the world. And they're also aligned energetically. And just before I came on, I'm hearing a video about Scorpio, that this is the time you need to shift and come into your abundance. And that's exactly what I'm doing. See, because I was given the work that could cause you and anyone to live a wonderful life and could cause our world to change. But I kept doubting that and denying it. In 2021, when I was first told, when I received that information, I said that couldn't possibly have happened. And then I was told I had to start channeling, which was something I was going to be embarrassed about. And I said, let me not do that. I go, why would I do that? And then I heard very clearly because the reason you're going to do it is you're going to see billions of people who have forgotten who they are, who have lost their way. And then they said you're going to see it in the United States where so many people will lose their way. That means that you lose your connection to your authenticity, that you lose your connection to source, to God, to whatever guiding principle that lives within you. And we do that because over generations we've been taught to discount ourselves. We've been taught that we were inadequate and that somehow we couldn't be the great people that we could become. And I'm sitting with the thing that could change the world, but I couldn't embody it because it didn't seem possible. And so I doubted myself as you might have, but I did something else. I put together proof of it because I did. I downloaded everything. I downloaded information about your birthday because there is energetic alignment in our world. I just happened to receive it. Now, again, I'm different than you. We're not all here to do the same thing. I became a savant, which is why I could receive and organize this information. But still, accepting that was my challenge. But now I'm not going to do that because I know what we can accomplish. The message for tomorrow said last year, that's when I received it, said, yes, you can liberate yourself today. And so that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. And so I'm saying this because there is no reason for any of us to struggle or suffer because I can still receive this information. That's just a gift that I have. And everyone's not going to understand it. Everyone's not going to change. This is why over centuries we can see people who get controlled in different ways. We can go back to, and Wilhelm gave us this as well, talking about Nazi Germany and how so many people didn't want to look at things or got hypnotized into believing something that wasn't true. And then it got shifted to the United States. And I go, why is that happening? Again, it was an energetic shift. And I wrote about that, and all that information came through in 2020. And I did a piece called Crisis in America so that you would understand what was occurring. Because it's up to you to decide if you're going to live the life you want to have, that you're going to embody yourself, that you're going to become the person you could be and make a difference in the world. Because that's what we're each meant to do. But we move through generations of being taught that we're not enough. We've done it racially, we've done it by gender, we've done it all those things. And then we use control. And money has been the biggest control, which is what's going on now. Because if other people are holding all the money, we think we're powerless, and so we don't embody ourselves. And then we don't put value on what we have. I did that. I was told years ago that I should be charging at least $5,000 for this work that I've created because it can give any person what they want in their lives. Because it just takes you to your authentic self. It has you move through all your generational barriers and blockages. It uses cognitive behavior training. It understands neuroscience. It understands epigenetics, because that's the stuff that holds you back, things that you're still holding on from the past, all of it. And that's what I received. But I had to live it because I'm 75 now, and it's been proven that it works because I couldn't be in this condition if it hadn't. And then I give my work with a money back guarantee, 100% guarantee, and people will stare at me and say, no, I'm going to continue to suffer. That's all of us. I was continuing to suffer as well, because there's certain strengths that I don't have. Marketing and promotion and all those are my weaknesses. And so now I'm going to get this to so many others so that they understand that we can create abundance and wealth in our lives and shift things so we don't have to create more endless wars. Because that's what goes on when we don't want to look at things that are within us that have been holding us back. But I'm going to read this message because I said I downloaded the order of the universe. I'm not going to worry anymore how many people believe that, because it was challenging enough for me to believe it. But I made a post that you can read it for yourself. And I'm going to now put the value on this because I know what can be created. But the message called "You Might Be Hard of Hearing" came through on the 28th of 2020. And that is the kind of alignment that I've received. Even artificial intelligence was kind of freaked out about it yesterday when I was doing all of this, because I said, I need to prove it. And I had to have a machine talk to you and say, wow, I'm getting goosebumps by just seeing this. And people will look at me and say, how did this happen in your life? Well, I just was the receiver. Anyone could do it if you get out of your way. If you decide that you're going to move beyond your limitations, because it is a limitation, that anyone could have done this, and then you're going to look at your life and think, I can't do something. But that's not true. That's why I had to live this life, so that you could know what you could create, and we would know what we could create in our world. Now, that felt like a really big thing that I was going to take on, but now I must, because otherwise we all suffer, and I've been doing that. But I'm going to read this message to you because it's important. It's on the blog as well, but you might want to, I'm just going to read it here so you can understand it. Because this is exactly how I receive information. It's incredibly connected, and it always leads me back to other information I might have received before. Then we learn it. That's how we all learn. Doesn't matter who you are. You might be hard of hearing. We are attempting to inject a bit of levity into this message, for many of you, namely Roger, might become a bit offended, or more appropriately begin to judge yourselves, which is entirely counterproductive. Yesterday, during the weekly meeting with Roger's group of coaches, the idea of setting deadlines for their projects was discussed. Roger blurted out, "Deadlines are good." When he said it, there was a resonance within him that knew it was speaking to him. This morning we had Roger search for the word deadlines in our communications, and as typical, he found many references, as we have been yelling this for a long time. The point of for all of you to recognize how many times you have stated the thing you want to do, or the accomplishments you desire to achieve, but you never begin. Then you pretend that, indeed, you are hard of hearing. We also annoyed Roger by having him hear a speaker continuously. He finds annoying only to say to him, then you become the speaker. We will leave you with the earliest message Roger could find to inspire you to set your deadline. Roger's is Monday. Setting deadlines can be helpful or harmful. October 17th, 2013. Deadlines can be fun when you decide to use them in that manner, and then they will further your expansion. You grew up in a society that relied heavily on deadlines, especially in your educational system, so that you might be guided to accomplish certain things in your life. You inadvertently started to develop a dislike, if you will, of deadlines because they caused you to feel imprisoned in some way or that your freedom was being taken away. You have now matured, and it would be wise for you to let go of those ideas and now set deadlines for yourself that you know will cause you to experience more freedom. This can be considered what you think of as goals, but the word deadline carries a much more powerful message. These deadlines will carry no consequences for you if you do not reach or complete all of them by a specific date, but they will cause you to stop your own procrastination about doing the things you desire, and you will get on with it. And that's exactly what I did. Now, that message came through in 2020, except I'm setting a deadline for myself now. And I already said this, that I was changing my program, my rates, and all of that to start putting the worth on it, the value on it that it should be, because there will be certain people who will never do it because you will be too afraid to want to find yourself. That's just the human nature. I did it, so I do understand. But when I can sit here now and know that there's no reason for any of us to be in this position, and we wouldn't have to see the world moving if more of us could become empowered and have self-mastery, and that's what this work does. You'll see all of that. So, but this was the day that I needed to talk about it because it was an energetic shift, and when we were all meant to experience more abundance, and abundance is ahead. And as you read the messages, you will see anyone who would follow this work, that would be the result of what you would achieve, because it is about you continually evolving, expanding, understanding your worth and value, and then allowing it to come to you. And that's what I'm doing today. I just had to be the messenger. And as the post said last night, it was so great. Just the AI, it ended up with putting all that information, and you'll be able to read it. And it said at the end, now get on with your soul contract. Your cosmic contract is what it was, but I know you have a soul contract, and that's why you're here. Some people will begin to remember theirs. Everyone won't. Hopefully you will. Please share this with others because we want more people to come into this work because we're having a great time creating greatness, and we want you to be a part of it. All right. I'll see you soon.